Ruler School is brought to you by Odyssey Games, where you can go to pre-order upcoming Force of Will sets, ccgprime.com for singles and supplies, cardodoko.com for those rulers in the international market looking for product, as well as our guest lecturer members Vite Ramen and Full Grammar Alchemist. Class is in session. Hey there, rulers! Welcome back after a long week of Force of Will to your favorite ever live Force of Will podcast. It's Office Hours, featuring myself, DMO73, and I'm joined, as always, by Paul Reisman. Paul, how you doing, buddy?
I'm pretty good. I woke up from a nap a little while ago.
Naps are good. Naps are good.
Naps are good for you.
Little bit of housekeeping. If you liked what we're doing, want to consider supporting that channel, you can click the join button down below. It is the easiest way to support us. I do see Vampire989 and Brant the Brent. You guys aren't members. Well, you're missing out on some stuff. You can get some interest in that. You get access to all the cool emotes. It goes to support us financially. We also do members-only content like the all-nighter video series that we're starting, and we sometimes also put out videos like feature matches and stuff early for people, so check those out too if you consider joining. The lowest member is just, I think, $1 a month, maybe $2 a month. It's well worth it, I think. Is your headphone volume accidentally turned down, or is it a little quiet? I think I'm usual sound. Maybe do I sound, am I using is it having me on the wrong microphone? No, it says I'm using my right one. The chat will tell me if they also think I'm quiet or if it's just you. Tonight, we also, if you haven't gotten your pre-orders in, this is your last week to do it. Odyssey Games does still have pre-release kits and boxes left, so you want to get into that for sure. And also, you need to let your stores know that the circuit kit for Quarter 1 of 2026, featuring the Belphegor mat, is available for order right now through January 7th. You're not going to want to miss that. I know that we missed out on a couple of quarters last year just because of this year 2025 just because of delays, but we're trying to get back on top of it, and so we're making sure we try to hit at least 3 of the 4 quarters next year. So the more you guys get your groups to pre-order those kits, the more like it helps us generate better drive within like the printing, everything else, to make more kits happen faster. So like, help please, or talk to your play group about it. All of that stuff out of the way, let's talk Banlist. The new Banlist article is going to drop sometime this week. Who knows when? It is going to be a full Banlist, a change to both Wanderer and Paradox. And so I wanted us to talk about cards that we thought might need to see some changes in Paradox, might need to see some changes in Wanderer, and kind of why. So while we bring up certain cards that or things that we want to see change, we'll kind of go ping back and forth here between Paul and I. This about what we would like to see change. This is not necessarily full predictions, but maybe at the end of the night when we've had a full conversation, we'll put together like a what we think, what we want magical Christmas wish list. We'll kind of go pinging back and forth about why. We're going to start with Paradox, then we'll shift into Wanderer. I do, however, before we want to jump into any of it, I know that people don't really like it. I totally understand. I have a proposed CR change that I would like to see happen with this coming list. With it being post-Worlds and everything else, I have a proposed CR change. So I'll put it here. I want the CR ability of will abilities to be changed, to make them more narrow. I want will abilities to be only things that purely produce will. If a will ability does anything other than just produce will, I think it should use the chase. I think that resolves to Matilda. I think there are resonators like Gil Lapis who used to get mystery counters that like it would affect him too. The new Gilgamesh, I think his God's Art is like it makes 2 bodies. Like that shouldn't be something that just doesn't use the chase.
Reason for that. Yeah.
I mean, in general, I think that's a change that's been needed for a long time. I think that will abilities should be things that purely produce will. It used to be just things that didn't target, but then things that produced will started doing other stuff too. And I just think that's needed to be different. Would Crownstone be hit by this? No, its God's Art would still just only produce will. So that would be just unchaseable. The Velmardia Stone God's Art would be one that just produces will, so that still just resolves. But if you look at like the ability for and Brent's comment here about, wow, was that not already how it works, is the reason why I want it changed, because it's also unintuitive. The fact that an ability that puts two bodies onto the field doesn't use the chase because it doesn't target and produces will and has no other conditions is not obvious. It reads like an activate ability that you should be able to interact with. Same with Matilda's. So let's just make it that way because it's also more balanced. So that's my starting pitch here. Not the God's Art, the 1 will for 2-drop or bigger mono. That's a will ability. It only produces will. That would still be a will ability, Tupin. Paul, do you have any thoughts on that? Is it that hot of a take?
It's probably not that hot of a take. We were very confused by Melfi Traveling Sorceress and cards like that, where it, like, on enter, if I stop the enter, do I stop the will production, or do I not get a chance to respond because it's technically a will ability?
It's not.
Things like that. Yeah, things like that are super weird, right?
Right. So further
you look at it and you're like, it produces will, so why is it not a will ability? But it's not a will ability.
Yeah, because it's an automatic trigger. Yeah, so you just need to better define
or activate abilities.
Yeah. So I think it just creates. What about like Nullstone that produces will and then burns you? I guess that's a fair critique that Nullstone would be then considered not a will ability. That is a little bit of an interesting caveat to what I'm talking about. I still think would Hairpin's God's Art fall in that? Let's read Hairpin.
Yeah, we there's a lot of cards with precedent.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
So
like, Hairpin's God's Art,
like retroactively changing all of those would be.
Yeah. So in my mind, Hairpin's God's Art here would not be a will ability. Because it's spend this will to play the judgment process. You gain if you play a judgment process this turn. So you're doing other things other than producing will, like as part of the resolution of the effect. And so for me, I don't think that would be a will ability. I think that should be further defined to be an activate ability, especially because it's 0 cost. Like it's a 0 cost ability. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of weird in-betweens. I just think it should be better defined. But like, I'd like to read you Gilgamesh. Just real quick.
Yeah, read Gilgamesh because it's crazy.
So Gilgamesh's God's Art is pay 0, shuffle a card from your hand, produce white, only for Devil Resonators, put 2 bodies into the field. That currently does not use the chase. That just happens. And I'm like,
you just get 2 guys.
Why? Why do we just get to give him 2 guys? Sure, they're 0/2s, but he has cards that like outnumber. So why did we just give him 2 free bodies? And produce will, right? I just think it creates this possible like toxic design space where like things get to kind of cheat around the chase that shouldn't. And I do think that lends itself to being broken open and played in the unintentional way than just making it safe and making it interactable, especially because they're 0 cost, right? Robert Strong, Magic has some lands that produce a creature when it enters. Don't think they are interactive. I mean, an automatic trigger is not a will ability. So again, it's a better definition, right? It's just unintuitive. So that's my hot take at the beginning of a CR change that I would like to see happen. That's just in general. But now we can go into actual like card choices. And if you guys have ideas in the chat about cards that you would like to see banned or why not, please put them in the chat and give us your thought process as to why, because let's have an ongoing conversation. Again, we're going to be starting with Paradox. I think this one's pretty self-explanatory. Demon's Blood. This is not a Paradox card. This card has quickly shown itself to be not Paradox friendly. They mentioned at the beginning of the Paradox format that they wanted cheap, efficient board wipes to be not readily accessible. This is a cheap, efficient board wipe that is unchaseable, that is free. But only for rune decks. but also just outside of rune decks is very good. Now you can concede that like people have adjusted deck building to make it so Demon's Blood isn't hitting them for much, but also like it provides a stat buff for 2 turns worth of stats, like just all kinds of other things that this thing does. It is far more overtuned for the Paradox environment than it needs to be, especially given that it was a rune. Now I would concede that if it was a pure rune, not a chant rune, if it was a pure rune, this card would be fine and I would have no problem with it. But the fact that it can be played main deck and side deck and rune deck and is unchaseable in all of those ways, I don't think this card is Paradox friendly. I think it goes against the spirit of what they've banned other cards in Paradox for. Got any thoughts, Paul?
I did not play that card at Worlds nor in testing for Worlds because I did not go to Worlds, but I'm just going to believe people who did at Worlds say this card was too good at Worlds.
Hey, there you go.
It's too good.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a little nutty.
Paul, do you have any thoughts about a Paradox card that you'd like to see hit the X?
Gravestone.
You want
Murder
Gravestone?
it.
Do you want Gravestone out of just
Kill it.
Paradox or Gravestone out of
Gravestone needs to die.
just
everywhere.
fully? So out of Wanderer as
Just
well. You just
stop
want this card gone.
existing. And it's not even me, right? It's everybody else wants this card gone, and for a really good reason. It locks down 2 things for just simply existing. Yeah, I mean, we were all really disappointed when it didn't leave before Worlds, and yeah. So that's where I'm at.
That's fair. I can concede that. Like, I don't know. I am and haw on the fence about this one. I'm pretty sure that I agree that it probably just needs to go. It's just like potential toxic game space design, especially considering we just got a bunch more new like untouchable ramp stuff. Like Alistair is like a thing of just like untouchable ramp that can just make this card be online super fast. It also gives
Quick
warnings
cast
to people
goad.
that forget the trigger. Yeah. I think this is fine for me to go. I'm not against it. I think that if we're at a space now, especially with like protection of the Academy grounds and some other stuff and potentially the speed of the format that makes me wonder necessarily how influential it was going to be in the upcoming format, but I can concede that I think it just probably needs to go just for overall game sake and not coming back in it. It's a card that like will rear its ugly head every now and then, and it's just toxic when it does. So it's like, why are we letting this card be allowed?
Yeah.
My next card specifically for Paradox format that I want gone is Kushiel. I want this card gone out of Paradox in 2 seconds.
You do?
I want this card absolutely axed out of Paradox. And keep in mind that when I talk about all my bans, I'm talking about in the context of like all of my bans that I'm talking about, even though I'm bringing up a single card. These are things that I want to see as a grouping, right? So like when I say I want Kushiel banned, it's also because I want Demon's Blood banned, and I think they should both be gone, right? So let's pull the scope. I'm just going card by card because I want to have a discussion about it. I think this card is parasitic on the concept of what Paradox is supposed to be. When they talk about the idea of Paradox, they say, for instance, that they want Paradox to be a format where they want us to generate pressure through proactive plays to board. Kushiel says, why the hell would you ever try to be proactive? Because you will get punished so hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Light
just lose the game.
Just lose the game, right? And so for a format that is intended on the idea of you need to, like, you should feel comfortable and we're trying to empower you to play proactively, to have a card like Kushiel be so prevalent and so easy to access because it's only one base white for so many decks, and searchable for so many decks is just, I think it's just parasitic to the idea of what Paradox is supposed to be, and I would feel much more comfortable with it gone. I don't want it on a Wanderer because I do think its existence is a helpful tool to keep some wombo combo decks in check. And I, for one, enjoy keeping wombo combo decks in check, and the answers to Kushiel are infinitely more plentiful in Wanderer than they are in Paradox. But
Yeah,
this card is
like light lightning.
this card is well, also so many others too, but this card is like nigh unkillable in Paradox. So I just think it's incredibly toxic for what the intention of Paradox format is supposed to be.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that. I was a little surprised to see you say it, but having explained it that much, I could see Kushiel leaving in general. I could also, for similar reasons, see Hindered Magic Duel go. I think that card is incredibly strong.
For Paradox, you're saying?
For Paradox, right? So it's a one divinity. It's going to purely benefit one ruler and just generally benefit the whole field, but like it's going to be even more powerful in the case of Threven. It's just going to slot into rune decks very easily. It gets you cards, it gains you life, it can stop spells, it can destroy attacking resonators and fog for a turn. I think this card is incredibly powerful for Paradox. Just draw 3 is kind of an insane effect. And it's untouchable. It's like all of that, like, okay, sure, like, okay, it's quick cast, right? Like, no, it's quick cast and untouchable. Let's just ban ATD.
I disagree with Hindered Magic Duel being banned out of Paradox. Currently, I have found that the bottom two, for me, the remove target spell targeting a player has not been as I actually find out
myself, I don't think that's
not a big
the
part
most
of
influential.
it. Untouchable, I get the draw 3 cards part. Like, it is a very strong card. I don't think it's Paradox ban worthy yet. I'll concede. Let's put it on a watch list, I suppose, but I don't think it's bannable as of yet. It needs time to breathe. Is pure, and also is like a purely defensive card. So I'm kind of like, okay, about it.
Well, but it's not. It's not a purely defensive card. It's got economic value too.
Sure.
So if you need to,
but you can also punish this card really hard. Sphinx is an insanely good punish to this card. Hindered Magic Duel, cool. In response, pitch Sphinx. Please expel a card out of your hand. I've had that happen to me, and it feels awful. And you're just like, no.
And like maybe Sphinx rising popularity like sees this card not being so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see folks saying like come back to it when it's MP3, and I think that's fine.
I agree. I think you can revisit it when we hit
I'm also like
PS3.
Struggling to figure out like what cards I do want banned because there's not been a lot of cards.
Yeah, that's totally fair. That's totally fair. I think that my Paradox list is pretty small here. I do want to get into the chat real quick to bring up some of these kinds of concepts. Robert Strong agrees with us about Kushiel in Paradox, but not Wanderer. Hooray. Violet, you are correct in that Violet will be coming to Paradox in Masterpiece 3, which will be nice. Robert Green, you personally want Shaman and Spirit Band. It's a personal thing, but they bring back the ability to full pay, then I'll be for keeping them. I agree that we can concede that like all discounts to cost are optional is something that you could definitely do instead of mandatory cost discounts. I guess that's a fair critique. I will say in Paradox that Alabaster is going to rotate very soon. So we'll only have Mirage Spirit at that point in time because Alabaster's in Masterpiece 2. So I don't really have a desire to ban it out of Paradox anyway when it's going to be gone in 3 months. That's just my thought. And in Wanderer, I think they're necessary. I think Spirit of the Mirage.
100%.
I think Alabaster and Spirit need to exist in Wanderer. Otherwise, we get some incredibly toxic play lines that just get to be gross. This is this card is yeah, for sure. Lilith Larinka can use this in Nero Mirror. Yeah. In the deck it will get used. Team won't get everything at once without being in a funny moment. Did anyone want mandatory discounts? Why did they start doing that? I don't know. That was just how they decided to start phrasing things. So if they update the CR to make cost discounts always not mandatory, then we could see that as a potential CR change as well. That if it refers to a cost discount, it always is a may. Something is going on with Paul's headphones, and he probably can't hear me anymore, which is super great when we're having this conversation.
YouTube just started playing in my pocket, and I was
Oh,
like, "What is going
sure.
on?"
Okay, cool. I agree with Yo-Yo that light is the best color in the game right now for Paradox. Absolutely, it is the dominant color for Paradox for sure. Personally want Inferno to return. That it gets errata. Well, I think we're getting Inferno 2 Electric Boogaloo with Masterpiece 3. So that's, I think, is pretty comfortable. I do want to talk about my next card that I'd like to see changed. It is actually a combo ban for Paradox. I want to see a combo ban between Hootriel here and Shield of the Pious. And Shield of the Pious Saint. I want a combo ban between these two cards. I think that the amount of value we saw it happen at Worlds on stream. Just the insane value of Hootriel plus Shield of the Pious Saint makes literally any Resonator an absolute powerhouse because of how Defiant stacking works. The fact that you can have a Resonator play Hootriel. So let's think about the value, right? Let's think about the pure value cost of this, right? So I play a Resonator for 1. I've spent 1 will for 1 card. I then play Hootriel for 2, so I spent 3 will. Hootriel then cheats me in a 4-drop, so I've now gotten 7 will worth of cards off of just 3 will. And then Shield of the Pious Saint discards all my light cards by 1 void, which means now I'm saving more will every card. And then when I attack with the Resonator that I played on turn 1, I'm going to get to dig 5 cards deep for another light card, which could be another Shield of the Pious Saint, and then get attached next turn with the Hootriel again, potentially getting you like 20, that's like 14 will worth of value off of 3 cards. And 3 will. I just think that is, for Paradox, I think that is too much. I think I don't want to do erratas. 2-pin, you mentioned maybe Shield should get Mythic. I don't want to do erratas. I just want to see a combo ban between Hootriel and Shield of the Pious Saint. There are plenty of other great regalia that Hootriel can cheat in. I think that it is too much value for Shield of the Pious Saint plus Hootriel.
Saw it at Worlds.
Yeah,
I didn't.
We watched it. You can go watch the stream. You can go watch the final.
Yeah, you can watch the stream.
And he just like Pious Shield, Pious Shield, Pious Shield, Pious Shield. Every single swing, dig 20 cards on a Battle Wolf that was a 24/24, and you're like, okay, you got it. Okay,
amazing. Amazing.
I'd like to full cast this Cuscio for 1 white because I have 3 Pious Shields out. You didn't play any spells? Don't care. Like,
amazing.
What have we done? You know what I mean? Because the Defiant also, because the Defiant stacks. So you just get to like keep attacking as long as you can keep attaching them, which is just gross.
Mm-hmm.
It's just gross.
Yep. That's real.
So like, we saw a line where we saw Battle Wolf swing, had gotten a shield the previous turn. Battle Wolf swung, dug 5, found another Battle Shield. Then Hootriel attached it to the Battle Wolf, who could then attack again because now it had Defiant 2. Swing, dig 10, because you get 2 triggers from Shield of the Pious Saint. Found another shield, just played the shield for 2, added it to the Battle Wolf, attached it for free. Swung again, dug 15 cards, and in the course of 1 turn saw their entire deck. Like, that's enabled by Hootriel plus Shield of the Pious Saint, and I just think that's too much value for Paradox.
Cool.
That's my thought.
I'm here for it.
Any other Paradox thoughts for you, Paul?
I literally am scraping the bottom of the barrel. I think the Paradox format has been, outside of the things we've already named, pretty well maintained.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, and we saw 25 cards kind of come out and change the way we thought about that for a
Mm-hmm.
lot of things. Um, so for the most part, like the fact that the list is that long is actually kind of impressive. Um, I would hesitate to put on Uppercut. I think a format or two ago that would have been at the top of my list, but I don't know. I don't know how folks feel about free spells. If if they still feel like those are too powerful. Um, I'm personally not sure Uppercut needs to go yet right now.
I agree. I don't think
Yeah.
Uppercut needs to go yet. It didn't see almost any play at Worlds, and that was fine. I think it's pretty.
Yeah.
I think you can experiment with it. Things like Infinite Magic Seals, Infinite Loop. Keep those kinds of things more in check. Paradox
Yeah.
won't survive Violet if she brings Atomic Bahamut with her. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that Violet will be very strong if she brings Atomic Bahamut, but I also think it's very possible to support Violet in Paradox without bringing Atomic Bahamut back. Like, if they bring full power Violet back, but she doesn't have heart-to-heart talk, I mean, okay, like that feels pretty Paradox fine. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Ice Shards kills her real bad. Yeah, absolutely. Ice Shards hurts her a lot. Like, there's a lot
Yeah.
of ways to be able to interact with it. I'm gonna bring an unban off of the Paradox ban list.
Sure.
I think Zero's Light Lightning can come back.
Yeah.
I think with the influence of Aegis, and the prevalence of Aegis in Paradox, but also just some very powerful Wanderer cards, in barrier cards in Paradox, I think that Light Lightning can come back. Listen, you're allowed to disagree with me. We're having a conversation. Zero's Light Lightning is fine. I think Zero's Light Lightning in Paradox is fully fine, and in fact, in some ways, is helpful for the format. Y'all, have you read Mistress? have you read Gilgamesh's Mistress card? It rotates in 3 months. Yeah, for sure. Let it come back for 3 months.
Yeah.
Like, I think we need a card like ZLL, but not CLL. Sure, I'll concede that. Bring it in Masterpiece 3 and bring me back Zero's Light Lightning for now. Let it happen. You know what I mean? It's like, we need a Priests for a different color, something like that. Yeah, for something. Just something to get around barrier, right? That's not 3 cost. That's not freaking price 100%. To pay. That's not price to pay. I will also say I did actually have one more combo ban that I want to have happen. And I've advocated for it for a bit. But I think with the prevalence of Gilgamesh, I think it's even more necessary. I think I want Taking Attendance and 2 Arms combo band. I want those gone. I don't know why I brought up Dealer, but I want 2 Arms combo band with Taking Attendance. And then I did have one other one that I wanted to bring up, which is the Red Warlock.
The Wandering Nomadic.
The demon-seeking Warlock.
Yeah. I was just thinking, like, oh yeah.
You could either hard ban this guy out of Paradox to me, or you could combo ban him with like 2 Arms. Like either one is fine for me at that point. Those are my thoughts for those kinds of things. This card is let's see. I'm going to Priest for different color. Sorry, hell no for Zero's Light Lightning coming back. I think that's what Robert was referring to.
Yeah.
Yeah, these plus deep. This is another reason why, like, I think you can leave this guy in the format if Demon's Blood gets hard banned, but I think if you're leaving Demon's Blood in the format, you have to ban Demon Seeking Warlock. Like, you can't have both in the Wanderer in the Paradox format. Seeing JPK's list at Worlds and the ridiculousness that is that list is not, again, it's toxic to the environment of what you want Paradox to be. And even the fact that it exists is something that I think is antithetical to the stated mission statement of Paradox. Those 2 runes combo ban, maybe even Wanderer level. Maybe.
Nah,
I could see taking
I'm not
attendance.
there.
I'm not there yet for taking attendance and 2 arms in Wanderer. Maybe in Paradox, yes. Wanderer, no. I don't think so. That's personal. What's happening? There's heavily powerfully used tools usually go to 1 color at a time: water, then wind, then light. Seasons. We have seasons in FAL where red gets everything, then white gets stuff, then green gets stuff, then blue gets stuff, then black gets stuff. Ever see Resonator runes? Gosh, I hope not.
Please no.
We already have them. It's called Rogue Spectator.
And Shiva.
And Shiva. We already got him. Unban Electra. Let's have all the chaos. Hard pass. Get out.
Stop.
Get
stop
out
now.
Get out,
stop.
please. Get out, please.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah, those are my thoughts for Paradox. I don't think there's a lot that needs to be done. Kushiel equals white Electra. Hard disagree. Hard disagree. Kushiel is a punish. Electra is trying to play 4 to win the game. Kushiel is you tried to play the game, get banned. Like, that's very different. Very different.
Electra said, "Yeah, I'm punishing you for having life."
Yeah, for sure. But you you also
starting
could,
with life points.
You could also interact with her. So like, no, no, thank you. Those are different concepts. Anyway, Kushiel versus Electra. I think both of them can stay out of Paradox format for as long as I care.
Goodbye.
I also don't think you can include her back into Wanderer because then she just becomes again the quintessential every control deck just ends the game with Electra, which was why they banned her in the first place. Ta-da! And then there was, it doesn't matter for Paradox, but I'll talk about it in Wanderer for a little bit. Yeah, Electra is the best card for control decks. If she comes back, every control deck will just play Electra and Wanderer. There's no reason to not. So let's talk about Wanderer. Specifically, we'll get into our alternate back and forth here for you, Paul. So you already talked about Gravestone. I have a list.
Yes, you do. You have been giving this so much more thought than me.
I have been. I'm genuinely curious. Yeah. I'm genuinely like wanting it. Honestly, most of my things in Wanderer are combo bans. There's nothing that I necessarily purely want hard banned, which I think is nice. I do. I have my eye on Zhuge Liang. I'm not sold on it needing anything. The Wanderer one. I'm not sold on it at all. But Yo-Yo called one of them that I want. I want this card combo banned with Regalia Beast in 2 seconds flat. And I'll say this. The intention of the combo ban list and the mission statement that the company has put forward is that hyper executed FTKs that like are uninteractive and make for non-games are something that go a step beyond the explosiveness that they want to exist in Wanderer. They want FTKs to happen, but they want there to be good interaction. Zhenwu is a very cool card who is absolutely outshadowed by look at how I can combo the shit out of this card because Regalia Beast exists in the same format as him. If you just get rid of that line, there's a bunch of cool stuff that you can do with Zhenwu. So like and there's also still a bunch of cool stuff that you can do with Regalia Beast. It doesn't just become, well, if I'm playing Zhenwu, I might as well play Regalia Beast and I might as well just combo kill you. Like it just solves the card in a way that I think is going against what they wanted to do with the card's design anyway. And also this is clearly the intention of the combination ban list in the first place. Of like, hey, we printed a card. It's got an insanely toxic interaction with an older card. So therefore, we're not going to let them both exist. Carry out the mission of the combo ban list and combo ban these cards on release. Like, full stop. I don't know. That's my thoughts.
Yeah. No turn 1 FTKs.
Yeah, if you open up Zhenwu and a couple Regalia Beasts, which by the way you can dig for all of them, you can produce Infinite Will and draw your entire deck on turn 1. Hooray!
Yeah, we don't want that.
We don't want that. Considering how Shenwu's untouchable. Don't do that. It's not good. It's very toxic. And we don't want it. For those of you who are saying, pray that you never have to watch it happen. Or also go watch Yo-Yo Fow's stream from the OLS where he did the combo on the stream and you just get to watch him dirtle for a while. Yeah, you don't get the beast back on playing Zhenwu. That's fine. He searches any 2 cards. So you just search a Zhenwu and a 0-cost Regalia. Like Ice Shards. Or Horn of the Sacred Beasts.
Yeah.
Ta-da. I wouldn't say that's the intent demonstrated because of the outright combo bans between Crucial support, but maybe I'm just caught on that because I think that's a fundamentally stupid game thing design-wise. I think, for the most part, the stated intention of the combination ban list is what we talked about. There are things that have fallen outside of the outline of that, which would be like the Bruchiel combo bans on release, which I could agree that was not necessarily the thing that any of us were expecting or well received of the combination ban bug. This is a great point. I think the intention and the best functionality of the combination ban list is something exactly like Zhenwu and Regalia Beast. That's my preferred execution of it and how I think most of the combo bans have been executed. So can't he not search Zhenwu with Zhenwu? No, he can because it's hidden zone to hidden zone. So you just get to search any 2 cards. You don't have to tell the opponent what you're searching. Hidden zone to hidden zone. You don't have to reveal anything, so he can just search for whatever he wants. Hooray! CR stuff. Anyway, that's that one. I have another one. Paul, can you guess what my next combo ban that I want is?
Is it Nocturne and Arlequin?
It's Nocturne and Arlequin. I want these cards combo banned so fast as well.
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
And I have a reason for this as well, and I have precedent for this as well, which I think is very fun. So I'm trying to pull up Arlequin here and force a wind as being dumb. Let me come on. Arlequin. Okay, Arlequin. Dang it. Of the Dead. I'm trying to bring it up so it's just Arlequin on screen because of how I'm doing this. Come on, bring it up. Arlequin of the Dead Moon Circus. Here's why I want this combo band. Nocturne and Arlequin are untouchable. And Arlequin is a consensus ability.
Yep.
That's it. Those are the reasons
no touchy.
why. It would be one thing if I could stop Nocturne purely, but it's that Nocturne gives the ability to Arlequin. Arlequin is untouchable, and Arlequin is a consensus ability. We have banned hand ripping at that efficiency for less. We have banned hand rips for less that are that efficient that quickly. And this is the game you will be at 0 cards for the remainder of the game on a pair of untouchable cards with a consensus ability that's unrespondable to. I just think that is incredibly toxic. And makes for non-games where the reason why the TSW player wins is because you literally just can't fucking do anything. And I just think that's incredibly toxic game design. And makes people feel bad. And I don't like setups for non-games. And so I want these cards combo banned.
Fine.
You have other cool things to do with Nocturne. I'm not saying don't play Nocturne. I think Nocturne is sick as hell. I just think Nocturne plus or I'm gonna make you pick discard effects
I
that I
said
can
one word. I just said one
like
word.
seriously.
Like, are you kidding me? I never even touched this card with Nocturne. So
Yeah,
like,
and your decks are great, and the decks that we play are so much
I'm
fun,
fine.
so much fun. But
Yeah, I'm so much more fun. Yeah, they're fine.
this card
I'm
is
not worried about it.
this card is so toxic.
I'm just
with
getting a rise
Nocturne.
out of you.
Yeah, for sure. This card
It
is just so
worked.
toxic with Nocturne, and I want it gone. I want them combo banned
Yeah.
so fast.
Yeah, it's probably not intended. So let's or if it is intended, like why?
Get out of here. Again,
it's probably not intended though.
For me, it's the precedence of we've banned hand rip strategies for early hand rips for less than what this card is capable of, than this interaction is capable of, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like by the precedent of previous things we've done for hand rips, for early game hand rips, I think this is an easy hit. Like it's very easy to hit it.
Yeah.
And then I've got one more in the combination ban list here for Wanderer. And Paul knows what this one is too. Paul, what's my last one?
We talked about it, but I don't remember.
You are the one who's advocating for it to be a straight ban, and I'm against that, but I do think it needs a combo ban.
Hindered Magic Duel and something else?
Nope. That's right.
Can't.
It's Confrontation with Varkuzal along with Kirik and Lilius. I want Kirik and Lilius to never be able to touch this card. I think for all of the interaction, similar kind of vein. We have hit hyper efficient early hand rip concepts for less than what this has done with Kirik and Lilius. The fact that the two of them just get to have 10 so fast and unchaseable, burn you 12, remove 2 cards from your hand, even 4 cards from your hand. Even with the amount of anti-discard stuff that we have, I think that's hella toxic and very similar to the same vein of the Arlequin Nocturne. We have banned early hyper-efficient hand rips for less. And this one's untouchable, like uninteractable in terms of when you're actually casting the card.
Yeah, insane. I think this card should be full banned because it sets a very bad precedent.
I think this card's fine by itself.
Just don't print cards like this, please. Like, please don't print cards like this. Like,
I think this card, let me put it this way. I think this card, without the ability to possibly clone it, given the amazing amount of anti-discard and like self-barrier and other things that we have, like, I think this card is fine because even with Remnant, I think it's fine. The fact that, because that still like costs you 4 will and you can do some other crazy stuff and stop it, whatever, as like a finisher. But I also think that like the problem that hyper efficiently cloning this does is the fact that you can chase lock the enter effect of things like Varkuzal. Because you can just have the first one be the thing that cheats in the Varkuzal, so then while you still have a card on the chase that says players can't chase this card, Varkuzal just gets to do his enter effect and kill you. And that's like hyper efficiently easy to do when you get counters that fast. And I just think it's, with Kirik and Lilius, it's incredibly toxic. With Daumir, it's fine. It's just fine because you can mess with Daumir in a whole bunch of different ways instead. That's just my thought process on it. It doesn't feel great outside of Kirik and Lilius. I agree. I think it's just fine. I think this card is fine outside of Kirik and Lilius, but then it goes from being fine to hella toxic immediately in Kirik and Lilius. And so again, that to me feels like what the combo ban is for. That feels to me like what the combo ban is for. Like it's for it.
If you would combo ban it, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if this card said reunited with Daumir or something like that, it'd be fine. But it doesn't say that, right?
It says
8
unchaseable strength counters.
Yeah. And you know, I know you're the Dalmir person on the channel, and so I'm sure that you have a better sense of this than me. But I can't imagine getting to 8 strength counters is that hard
It takes
in
time.
Wanderer.
It takes time. It does actually
In
take time.
Wanderer,
Even in
with
Wanderer,
all
it
of the
takes
strength
time.
counter support.
I mean, you can get to it, I guess, but all of the strength counter support that's like me gaining stuff is like interactable. Like you can cancel all of it. Or like it doesn't comfortably get him to 8 very awkwardly, so you can do things like last days of a powerless dragonoid to reset him down to 0. Like you can do things to mess with it. You know, I think it's just fine. I think it's just fine. This is another one where I wouldn't have any problems with this card if it was a pure rune. Like
Yes.
if it had been a pure rune instead of a chant rune, I also wouldn't have any problems with it. But it's a chant rune, and as such, I think it's just really, really toxic with Kirik and Lilius. So you just combo bend them.
Yeah.
You have to be spending will to speed him up to 8, exactly, and therefore you can interact and stop it. So, yeah, and that's kind of it. To be perfectly honest, I don't really have anything else that I want changed in Wanderer. I do think that like I said, I've got my eyes on Zhuge Liang. Because I have maybe some concerns with that, with some of the like the Baroost Amon stuff, maybe. But I think it's probably fine, like with the amount of interaction we have in Wanderer, that like she's pretty unprotected. So like, yeah, probably fine. But like no hard bans out of Wanderer that I really want to see. Let's look at we got some time left. Here we go. This will be interesting. Let's look at the ban list real quick and see if there's anything that we think we could take off. From the Wanderer ban list or the combat or the I already said about Zero's Light Lightning from
We already talked about Inferno in the comments section.
Yeah, I need to see an update on Inferno's text before I'm willing to bring that back, because it's another card that's just it creates toxic combos in its current writing.
Yeah, I'm not.
Wanderer ban list, I think
I'm
every one of those things on the Wanderer ban list, I think I'm fine with keeping going. Like there's nothing there that I'm like advocating to bring back. Combination
Maybe
ban
White
list.
Apple.
Oh, I do have one in Wanderer that I want back. I want Cheshire Cat, the Grinning Remnant, and Grimm's Contract to come back. I think you could bring that. I think you could bring that. I think you could bring that back in Wanderer in like no time flat. I think there's so many ways to be able to mess with that interaction way more and create and prevent these like hella toxic life gain interactions. You could see Fire Glyphs and Steed being a problem for Paradox. The Master Rune for sure. Immediate ban it. I don't care. Gilgamesh, you just want Gilgamesh's Master Rune immediately banned out of Paradox format? That seems kind of crazy. That's a called shot.
Maybe okay.
So Brant the Brant, is there anything that Gilgamesh should have hit on release? I did talk about how I think the CR change for his will ability, I think, would be a big hit to him, and losing Kushiel would also be a big hit to him, and losing Hutriel plus the shield, I think, would be hits to Gilgamesh. I don't want to really touch his personal kit on release as of yet, other than those things. The Master Rune is something to maybe watch for, but we'll see how it goes. And then also, again, taking attendance plus 2 arms being combo banned would also be a potential hit to Gilgamesh. Looking at Wanderer, like I said, I think Cheshire Cat and Grinning Moon can come back. Are
we worried about Shitalkin and Fishing Spot and eggs?
I think you could.
Anymore?
Well, so Ruchiel herself is banned
gone,
in Paradox.
right?
So like, I think you could let those things come back. Potentially, that's something you could potentially do.
Yeah.
And then Paradox ban list. I don't Do I care about Dexia's advice? Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. Not sold on it. It's um
Yeah, at this point, hero cluster rulers are saying no play in Paradox, as far as I can
yeah,
tell.
so I'm like, maybe.
Yeah.
I okay, controversial opinion, fully controversial, right? Um, uh, I think you could bring back King's Hopeless Scream in Paradox.
It is very controversial.
I like I that is very I fully contend that it is very controversial. -8 is a lot for 2 will. But my thought is like Demon's Blood currently exists and like I want it banned. But I just think that I don't know, with the high defense of things that we have and the ability to play things that have high defense and the fact that we still have command points and other things that can mess with stuff like King's Hopeless Scream pretty interactively, the fact that it is a 2-cost non-instant speed way to also, again, we talked about Zero's Light Lightning being something that kind of needs to come back in a format with Aegis and Barrier and stuff like that, that having access to something like King's Hopeless Scream, because it has to be main timing, I think might be worth it to re-include back into the Paradox environment for the time being, right? So that's just a thought. I won't be mad if it stays gone because I understand the purpose of it, but I do think people have been playing the Reinhardt contract. We're desperate. Yeah, people are playing Soul Absorption right now because like you need something like it.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that it's main timing, I think is like justifiable in Paradox. I think it's justifiable. I think Soul Absorption is very good. I think you could justify. I think you could justify King's Hopeless Scream in the format right now.
So then you'll have to contend with the fact that we could use Beelzebub's Master Rune and not draw 2 cards.
That's true.
Right?
I will
so
concede.
That's probably the
I will
biggest
concede that
pushback.
Yeah, but I will concede that like Beelzebub's Master Rune at X of 2 is only -6/-6 and only hits Rezos.
Hold up a minute.
My guy's gonna read the card and realize that I'm right.
I mean, you're probably right.
It's only -6. It's only -6/-6, and it only affects Rezos.
It's -6/-6 counters.
Right. Which is only hitting the things that are currently on the field. So it's infinitely.
I think
it's worse than Soul. It's worse than Soul Absorption at 2. And
why am I not finding this card?
It's worse than Soul Absorption because Soul Absorption is -6/-6 to everything for the turn. And it only hits Rezos. So
I feel like it's a side grade at best.
I feel like it's a little bit behind. I'd rather play Soul Absorption over it. I mean, I guess I can argue I can concede that it becomes a 3-cost much better. Right? That's fair. I'll concede that point that at 3-cost it becomes -8, that it becomes a 3-cost -8/-8 and doesn't draw cards. So like maybe that's okay to exist because it's only 1 base black. Like I'll concede that point. Fair. That's a fair critique. I think that is maybe a little too will inefficient for what is possible in Paradox. That
I think they're comparable.
I
would also say this also doesn't draw you 2 cards.
That's true. My other consideration, I think, for Soul Absorption or for King's Hopeless Scream over the Beelzebub Master Rune is that you can float will and then just play a body afterwards. after the rune resolves, whereas King's Hopeless Scream is a reset.
Yeah, it's for the whole turn.
It's for the whole turn, which I think has justifiable application in Paradox, being able to do that. So again, if King's Hopeless Scream doesn't come back, I'm not upset, but like I also think that it's possible that we could see King's Hopeless Scream come back in Paradox, and I don't think that's necessarily that big of an issue. But that's just me. Looking back at through here, not test tubes. Sorry, Lucy players.
Dang it. Stop.
Sorry.
I
mean, I think you could bring back
Flash freeze.
I think you could bring back Fishing Spot without Shutulkin.
Yeah.
Let it happen. Do it. Give him Fishing Spot back. Let's go. Zero's Light Lightning, I think, can come back.
Are we still thinking that Flash Freeze can't come back?
Flash Freeze can't come back. Light's already super good. Let's give the board clears to other colors. Please. Let's not give Light more board clear capabilities.
Yeah, so blue already has Soul Absorption. So what more do you need? Sure.
Give you Fishing Spot Sharia. Well, you can't play Sharia in Paradox. So sorry. So like let Fishing Spot come back in Paradox. I'm fine with that. Library of Never-Ending Stories in Paradox. Just let the books only exist in Paradox for 3 months. That seems like a strange choice. Give me Reflect plus Refrain back, you cowards. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah, I don't think Roar can exist. Not anymore.
Everything else, I think is fine. I don't think it's much, right? Which is like kind of nice. Yeah. It does kind of feel like there's just a few things, right? Like there's just a few things that we would like to see changed, that I think can continue to improve the health of the meta. But I will say this, like, I'm really currently enjoying playing Paradox format and Wanderer format. So all of these things that I would want to see changed are things that I'm like maybe a little concerned about as more people then start to experiment with them. They're like that. Things that are very clearly hella toxic, or things that I just think will provide better quality of life for the format, with like color balancing. There's nothing that's like truly like this has to happen or we're all dead, which I think is nice. Unfavorable exchange to be gone.
Nah.
That card needs to like prove it. I'm not saying I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying it needs to be proven. So go out and prove it.
Yeah. I think if there's anything that I want to discuss about like the game changing, it would probably be about some minor things in game philosophy. Like you mentioned with like will abilities being more narrowly defined, so we don't get crazy things like free 2/2.
This is not
three free bodies.
Sure. I'm gonna quickly point out, this card is not free Subruler Hate. It's not free. It's only free if your opponent controls 2 rulers. Otherwise, you have to sideboard it into your deck and draw it and cast it. Yeah, that's fair. I think that's, again, playing a Grim Tag deck in Wanderer is miserable. It's a value. I mean, it's a value engine. I don't even, like, I don't know what I mean. You know what I mean? It just kills a lot of decks that weren't... Again, full concede, go out and prove it. Go out and prove that it's ban-worthy. Like, I don't have allegiance to this card. If it eventually gets the axe, it eventually gets the axe. Go out and prove it. But
this card probably needs to exist because we're getting Fallen Angel tag rulers.
But also again, don't call it free Subruler Hate, because it's not.
Yeah,
it's not free Subruler Hate. It's not even reveal outside the game, put it into your hand. It's if your opponent has 2 rulers, you can reveal it and put it into the field. If they have 1 ruler and a Subruler, and that's in your sideboard, tough luck. You got to sideboard that in game 2 and then draw it.
Yeah. It does suck that it like nerfs an entire like masterpiece collection. But
here's the
yeah.
thing. It doesn't actually,
I feel like
it doesn't actually nerf any of them. It just gives the opponent a draw engine. That's it. Because
it doesn't even shut off the sub ruler.
It doesn't.
Right?
Well, so at the beginning. So in terms of being free, in terms of the free version of it, like the free version of it doesn't actually nerf any of the rulers that it's free against, except the Mercurius boys, because they're the ones that produce extra will. All it does in the case of Grimtag is that it, like, to the rulers themselves, is that it actually just gives them a draw engine. That gives the opponent a draw engine. Yes, it fully shuts off all sub rulers. That is a full thing that it does, 100%.
Sure.
But it hits both sides of the field with that. But it's also never free, and you have to sideboard it in those environments. So again, it does severely hurt a stemma because you can't make will. It shuts off all the Grim sub-rulers. That's for sure. The Grims that are tagging plus getting their sub-ruler out. That's a fair critique.
Which, again, I think might be okay because we are getting new support for those rulers going into Masterpiece 3 in Wanderer. So I think it's fine to have some sort of counterplay to that, right? Yeah. And like have to force those players to consider this card when they're making their decks. I'm not worried about it personally, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying. All I'm saying is, if it eventually goes, I will have zero problems with the fact that it goes. As it stands right now, it's not on my go list for Wanderer. And that's as a person who plays Fox and has to deal with my sub-ruler getting shut off all the time by protection of the Academy grounds right now anyway. Which is much more prevalent, right? So, yeah. That overall, I'm pretty excited about what the potential for this weekend or this Friday holds. I think there's some really good potential options out there. I'm excited to see what comes out of it. Just some housekeeping notes for the week. Tomorrow we will hopefully have a deck profile from me because I'm bad at them, as I've talked about before. I'm bad at recording them, so I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to do the deck profile for the Bianchi Oathkeeper deck before I fade that the memory of that deck fades into oblivion for me. Get it? Oathkeeper in Oblivion, Kingdom Hearts reference. Hey. Deep cut. Wednesday we will have the live stream of our pre-release over at Odyssey Games, which will be super exciting. Paul's second chance to try to do well at a pre-release for this format. We'll see how it goes. Thursday, I think Thursday is when my box opening vid is allowed to be pushed forward. It's either Thursday or Friday. We'll have that. And so if it's on Friday, then Thursday we'll have the deck profile for Helen Olympians. And then next week is Christmas. So
don't remind me.
Probably Monday we'll do a podcast again because we'll react to the real ban list that comes out. And then next week, Wednesday, as a Christmas present, will be episode 2 of Guess the Rework. Guess the Rework episode 2, featuring Brandon Bremont and Ryan Miles, which was very exciting. We had them compete to see who could guess we did Price is Right rules, closest without going over, for card reworks. Don't worry, it worked out. And then we'll be taking the time off. So we'll aim to have our first Paradox feature matches up shortly before like New Year's Eve. Essentially was when you'll be watching our first Paradox feature match of the new year. And I'll have a lot of news about FowFest coming in early 2026. Just kind of finalizing everything, including tickets going on sale for FowFest 2026. That'll happen in the beginning of the new year. So ta-da! Pretty exciting stuff. Thank you all so much for being here. Paul, what you're building Threven first?
Yeah.
What
Threven and Gilgamesh are built.
Sure. What pact are you going with for Threven to begin with?
Belphegor.
Threven Belphegor. Interesting. I will be playing Kael'th Lilith as my first ruler, so pretty excited for that. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Hope you have a wonderful week. And until next time, this has been myself, DMO73, and I have been joined, as always, by Paul Reisman.
Screaming into Christmas time.
Class dismissed, everybody. Have a great night.